So this video looks at how we can create kick-based bass ideas, and basically we're going to take the pattern that the kick drum's playing and we're going to copy that across to the bass instrument and then move from there with a couple of techniques to develop it. And what I'm trying to achieve here is to take that synchronicity that you see with a lot of bands, especially like funk bands and stuff like that, where the bassist is completely in the pocket with what the drummer's playing. Often when you see them on stage, they've got eye contact, or the bassist is kind of looking at the drums as well to get an idea of exactly where those kicks are going to hit. And I'm doing this within the Maschine environment, where I'm going to take the kick drum and apply it to the bass and then see what we can do with it after that. So first I've got a 4-bar phrase going with a bit of variation at the end of every 2 bars. So I need to go into the correct group for that, select events and select just the kick drum pattern. Shift and copy, go to a empty group, shift and paste, and then basically we have the pattern as a beginning point. Now before we move into auditioning some sounds, it's worth noting that by default all those drum sounds have been playing at their middle pitch, so they've been playing at C3, and if we start auditioning bass sounds, they're not going to sound right at that sort of pitch. So let's just get down to somewhere between C1 and C2. It's usually a good place to start. So going to browse, let's try out some different bass sounds. I'm torn between these two, but I do need to commit, so maybe this one because it's got a bit more pitch information. So the next thing to do is have a look at the actual pattern itself. So we go to select events, and when we can do a global change, we can globally change the duration, see if it's kind of fits in the pocket a little bit better. Let's go to the instrument for a minute. I want to see if I can make these notes last a little bit longer. Envelope 4 if it's a massive instrument, I think. Better. Okay. So let's go and go into the events again, and let's select none of them this time. So thinking about the notes I've got in here, I've got the first one, which I quite like to be quite short and abrupt, but maybe the second one, do a bit of an accent on that to make it a little bit longer. So it's just increase that value a little bit, see what that sounds like. Maybe make the first one a bit shorter, just to emphasize that a bit more. We can continue that through the part. Let's just make the pattern length a bit shorter so it's a bit easier to work with. So that's one way of doing it. A little bit of variation. Obviously pitch is another area I can work with as well. So let's try and see if there's a better pitch to place at. And maybe select a different event, give it a bit of variation. Okay, cool. And then finally, there's another trick we can do, which would be the slip editing technique we've done previously, where we select all events and we just move the position, and it just kind of rotates around the duration of the pattern. So now we're evenly in between these kicks. That's quite nice, actually. So now from something as simple as just taking the kick idea and apply it to the bass and giving it a little bit of manipulation, I've now got an idea where sonically my bass might go, and also in terms of what its rhythm might do, where I could take that further. So I'm just going to tweak with this a little bit more off camera, and I'll come back when I've got the more elaborated version of my bass.